It's week 2 of the SPOOPRISE art challenge. I've got a real spoopy one this time and I can't wait to show you. In case you're new to this, I created a new dice rolling art challenge for the month of October. To play, all you need is a 6-sided die and a 20-sided die, or a dice rolling app on your computer or your phone. Roll a 6-sided die to determine which Halloween character you'll draw, then roll a 20-sided die to determine the theme of your drawing. Take this challenge daily, use it weekly, use it once, whatever works for you. This is an open-ended challenge, so just have fun with the prompts that are provided to you. And please tag your finished pieces with the hashtag SPOOPRISE challenge on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram because I would love to see what you come up with. I'm going to share a few at the end of this video. More details on the challenge are available in the description below. Alright, it's time for this week's roll. What will it be this time? Okay, 5, which is, zombie, and 13 for water. This is pretty interesting. I have a good idea, and I'm pretty sure you can all predict what it might be. Let's get started. So, being who I am, I immediately wanted to draw a zombie mermaid. Let's not kid ourselves here. So, just like before, I pulled up my thumbnail template to sketch out an idea or two. When I was searching reference photos for inspiration, I noticed that, perhaps unsurprisingly, most zombie mermaid illustrations fall in the sexy and alluring category, and I knew I didn't want that. I didn't wind up creating a super gory illustration or anything, but I knew that I wanted my zombie mermaid to look a bit like a proper zombie, you know, bits of bones sticking out, real dead and sickly looking, the whole thing. Both of the concepts I sketched had a fishy tail with sections of it missing, because I couldn't get that idea out of my head. In the end, I chose the second concept because I liked the pose and the composition a bit more, but I did like both of these a lot. I intentionally kept this piece a little simpler than last week's because I knew I had a busy week ahead of me and I didn't want to overwhelm myself. Just a reminder that, like I said, you can take this challenge any way you please, whatever works within your schedule, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I pulled the thumbnail into a new file and started working on a more detailed sketch. I had to look up references for human arm bones and fish bones to get the bone details to look vaguely convincing while still being simplified in this style. In my younger art days, I drew a lot of skulls and bones, but I've definitely fallen out of practice with it over the years. I wanted to add some detail on the scales, but in this sketch she looks way more furry and fuzzy than she does scaly. I fixed that later on in the inking stage. I also added a few rips and tears in her tail fin to make it seem like her poor fish body is just falling apart on her. For the ink stage, I wanted to experiment a bit with a different ink pen than my usual set of choices. I wanted something with a bit of a rougher edge to it, and I finally decided on the Friendon Spotty Inker brush with a lowered texture density and higher scale ratio. I've talked about it before, but if you use Clip Studio Paint, I highly recommend dropping $15 or so on Friendon's 800 plus brush set. I'll link it in the description below. I'm not sponsored or anything, I just use the Friendon brushes almost exclusively in my work, and thus I can highly recommend them for their quality and their versatility. For the mermaid's tail, I went with a color pattern that's similar to a smallmouth bass. The reason for that is that we did a lot of fishing this summer when camping, and so when thinking of fish kind of taken apart and gory looking, to be honest, I kept thinking about the bass that we caught and ate over the fire. Deciding the color scheme for the mermaid wound up sort of setting the stage for the rest of the piece in terms of color theme as I went along. I had it in my mind to draw more details in the water other than a few bony fish, but in the end I ran a little short on time, so I decided to keep it simple. Like I said, the point of the challenge is to have fun, and I didn't want to stress myself out by overdoing it. I've said it many times before that my whole life I've loved mythological creatures, and I'm pretty sure that love started out with mermaids. When Disney's The Little Mermaid came out, I was about 6 years old, which I'm sure dates me to a lot of my younger viewers, and from then on I fell in love with the idea of mermaids. I distinctly remember soon after that I watched the classic Disney movie Fantasia for the first time, and not only were there more mermaids, but there were unicorns, pegasi, fawns, centaurs, and all sorts of crazy creatures. And that just hooked me. I've been fascinated with mythology ever since. It might have been a no-brainer, haha, zombie joke, that I wanted to draw a zombie mermaid for this challenge, but I did have a lot of fun drawing one in a sort of unconventional way. It was surprisingly difficult to draw sections of bone and muscly bits, because that's not what I typically draw, so that was a really fun challenge. And there we go. We're done. I like how this murky mer-zombie wound up coming out. If I did it over again, I probably would have tried to make it a little more gory or something, but still, it was a challenge outside the box for me, and I guess at least it's relatively PG rated this way. I'm excited for next week and what the rolls of the dice might bring. If you'd like to try this challenge, there's still a whole lot of time left in the month to play along. Just grab a couple of dice, roll for character and theme, and draw a fun and spoopy Halloween drawing. Tag me and use the hashtag SPOOPRISE I would love to see what you come up with. Here are a few pieces that folks have shared with the SPOOPRISE hashtag so far. I'm loving the creativity, and it makes me so happy to see what different artists are doing with all the different roll combinations. I really hope to see more as the month goes on. As I said, more details on the challenge are available in the description below. I really hope you'll play along, and I invite you to like and subscribe and comment on this video, all that good stuff. I will see you next week for my 3rd SPOOPRISE Art Challenge roll. I can't wait. Thanks so much for watching, and have a spoopy day.